where he comes out with half his face painted white? And he could be Darty Allen. Well, guess what? It's Friday night, and you know what that means. Top Rope Tokes is here to review AEW Rampage. I am just saying, that guy over there,
Range of Motions, aka ASMR Range of Motions.
The one person here who probably should do it. But we had AEW Rampage. This is Top Rope Tokes. Do us a favor, down below, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Help get those numbers up and make it so we can have more fun, get more people here to talk wrestling. Join us in the Discord. That link is in the description below. It's also on the YouTube homepage for us in the link section. But to start off this episode of Rampage, we got to see former NBA draft pick Satnam Singh with this mouse of a friend in Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal.
I feel like we determined that Sanjay Dutt
Chihuahua
is a Chihuahua.
Yeah. He was fun in his bits, though. Against Orange Cassidy and Best Friends and their tie-dye.
Yeah. And so, yeah, the Lethal team definitely played up the comedy for this, which was perfect because they were facing the Best Friends, and we know the Best Friends are all about making you laugh.
And with Sanjay Dutt, like, not being a wrestler anymore, so it's a way to kind of cover that up, and they just, you know, let him be involved, but in a comedy type way.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I was real sad when the pencil got lost. I was really hoping that Sanjay was going to keep the pencil for the entire match.
I mean, he did try to stab a dude with it.
Yeah. And you got to use all the tools you got when you're a Chihuahua.
As you're about to say weapon, I gotta use all the tools that you have.
Yes, tools. No, you don't have weapons. Because we got weapons. Chuck Taylor wins.
Chainsaw. Wait. Was it the same ref? Was it Price again?
Yeah.
I don't remember for tonight, but just that would have been funny.
It was the taller bald guy.
The older one?
Yeah.
Rick Knox.
Yeah, that's who it was.
But right in the beginning of this match, Jay Lethal starting off. The only thing that I really want to take a note of right at the beginning was Orange Cassidy walks in, puts his arm up. He wants Singh in the match.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, we got Sanjay Dutt in the first laugh of the night.
Yeah, Sanjay Dutt got in the ring, started ripping his clothes off, and then tagged Satnam Singh in.
Yeah. He did that thing, like, he got so feisty, he was, like, doing the old school, getting ready to fight, then he just did the whole, like, quick turn, head down, walked to the corner, just tagged him right in, get out of there.
One thing I liked, when Jay Lethal and Orange Cassidy were in the ring together, it was great. And I said during that match that I would love to see those two face off in singles. And later on in the show, they confirmed that there's going to be a match between those two.
I really don't have any other notes for this match up until you get to the very end with Orange Cassidy hitting the orange punch on Dutt for the win. And the shenanigans after.
Yep. That's all I got too.
Yeah. So he pins Dutt, but immediately Satnam Singh comes in, picks him up, grabs him by like the throat, shoves him away. Trent, I think, comes in next. He shoves him away. Basically, Singh just plows right through all of them up until Jay Lethal can hit the lethal injection, turns him over, goes to the little pound a little bit more, and then of all people, who comes out to help?
Yeah, Wardlow came down. Why? I don't know.
Commentary tried selling
to explain it, but it still doesn't make any sense.
He's tired of all the 3-on-1s and the 4-on-1 beats down, and he's just trying to do the right thing. That's cool when you can, you're talking about paperwork stuff, things that you can do in normal. You're a champion. You're in the business of fighting. Why would you get into an unnecessary fight that has nothing to do with you?
Because, man, he's Wardlow.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really came of it. They just kind of did a stare down where it's like he's not afraid of seeing, but nothing really happened.
Yeah.
Next, we got a video package, which is something I know I really need to go back and watch. If I can find it online in some kind of way that we don't have to pay like $35.
Yeah,
I want to catch that FTR Briscoes. It wasn't a recap. It was more like a montage because they were using like the promo lines and a bunch of stuff over top of it too.
Yippee. Yeah. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to what was being said during, so it was a recap to me.
Like they were just using lines and then they would match up certain things with a show. Like there's a line where Dax goes, "You can call me a fucking mark if you want to, but I love this fucking shit," or something like that. Or I guess it's on TV. I doubt he dropped that many F-bombs, but censored, whatever it was. They had someone say it was the greatest match that they have ever seen, like tag team match, at least for sure. But like it was little like quips in there, just kind of hyping it up at the same time while also showing what happened, some of the craziness.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to what was being said, so it makes it a little bit better. Yeah. I was just like, oh, here's a recap.
See, I'm so turned off by like recaps because I think back to in the other company used to just do like, here's your recap of this match, and it's like 5 still photos just kind of telling the story.
Yeah. I mean, you get to see the big moves that happened, at least in an AEW recap. Speaking of recaps, dude, the next match was like a recap of the last match between these two.
I mean, I know they tried to sell it that
fast it happened.
Leon Ruffin had surprised Ethan Page before, so I would have assumed that the one that they had before was a little bit more competitive, or at least he countered more things. Or else, because if it really was like that short in the same exact thing, then it was absolutely pointless. That's why I told you, I was like, it's considering the video package they showed before of their match, Ethan Page versus Ruffin, and the way they were selling it, I'm like, it has to go one of two ways: a total squash, or somehow Ruffin wins. Because if it's anything close to how they're building up the previous one as like a surprise, then it would make zero sense to even run it back.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan Page still won last time though. So, but yeah, this was a squash.
Yeah, they just made it seem like the previous one that he countered everything and he was like actually struggling to, like, he might have dominated but struggled in some kind of way. He definitely didn't struggle tonight.
Yeah, no, poor Leon Ruffin. He was out there just to get demolished today. Little guy, I'm rooting for you, little guy.
So,
put some muscle on, but I'm rooting for you.
The only thing really to note of this match, and I don't know how much you would have caught or known, because I know he isn't your favorite. Ethan Page, when this match got announced, went on Twitter and he did like a quote tweet of it, and he basically said, first match on TV in like 5 or 6 weeks, I'll see you again in R5. Just kind of showing a little bit of frustration. So that's why, if you take that into consideration with the way he stormed right out to the ring and then he yelled, "I hate this place," or whatever, as he hit his finisher, and then it sounds like what he was yelling into the camera as he quickly went back to the back, all kind of. But I mean, if he's doing this much on TV, I'm assuming it's a story at this point. But it made it just seem like, you finally put me on TV, and like, this is it, like, come on.
I mean, but there have been a lot of AEW folk and ROH folk just unhappy about their usage or the way that they're being utilized, because the roster's so stacked, so most of the people get thrown on the back burner.
They really need to get something going with Ring of Honor, so that way they can get the Ring of Honor stuff from occupying half of Rampage. Like, a little bit's fine, but during that time that they spent towards Ring of Honor before Death Before Dishonor, that's another segment, match, maybe 2 matches, a match plus like 2 or 3 segments. That's another 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people you could get on the card that weren't there.
Yeah, they need to, because they've got way too much talent that doesn't do much. But notably, sorry about the last match, Stokely and Layla Gray were watching in the back, looking, Stokely's kind of nodding his head like, yeah, another mid-card guy for me to pick up.
No,
but he could definitely benefit from Stokely's charisma, because Dan Lambert ain't it.
Oh, that way. I wasn't thinking about it. I don't know. I'm kind of like still thinking back to the Ring of Honor stuff. Like, yeah, like who really would benefit? You know how in the beginning when you started watching, Rampage kind of had its cycles where, for like a month it was the Hook show, then a month it was the CM Punk show, for a month it was the Bryan Danielson show. Starks used to do commentary every week. Let it becomes the Stark show.
Oh no, it's the Wizard show.
The 55-year-old man who acted like an 8-year-old child tonight.
Goodness.
We'll get to that shortly.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we'll get there shortly.
Next, we had this quick little thing with Cole Carter backstage with Lexi, about to ask him a question, or I think she got the question off. Either way, it was quickly interrupted by QT and the Factory. He said he used to watch him, had his eye on him before, but then Cole Carter disappeared. Heard he might have gotten into the wrong crowd. A reference towards how he was in NXT not that long ago, and he offers him a spot in the Factory. Not really a whole lot to it. He just kind of insults him, but then offers him a spot at the same time.
Yeah. So obviously he's not going to take it, because he's going to be their newest young baby face on the mid card.
But he's so young, it feels like they might use him versus a Factory to build him up, and then maybe he turns heel to join a heel faction that actually matters to build him up further, and then the eventual face turn again in like 3 years. It's just a common thing. A lot of times the big baby faces that come off of being a heel at some point first.
Yeah, this is 2 Rampages in a row that didn't do it for me.
We talked about it a little bit while we were watching it. We can cycle back to it after we get through the card. kind of general thought, because we kind of talked about a little bit. It's a good general thought to kind of close it out on.
Yeah.
Because next it was Lee Moriarty versus Matt Seidel. The only benefit to having this match on TV was the fact that Stokely was on TV. This
match, I just considering the talent of the two guys, I kind of thought that it would be a little bit more interesting, but nah. Stokely was the best part of it.
One thing, and I think it's very easy to see side by side when you watch how good Stokely is with his like mannerisms and his facial expressions. So I was trying to look at Lee Moriarty and try to figure out, like, they're trying to give him a chance, but it feels like he's really struggling to get any kind of reaction. And as he comes down to the ring, he has like a good, confident swagger. I think it's his facial expressions. They're too subtle.
Yeah. So, like, I'm gonna say, maybe, because it does the trick for me, but I look out for the subtle things, and I'm assuming the average wrestling fan wants to see over the top.
It's not necessarily it's a combination that a lot of times his facial expressions also come at a time where there's no other big mannerisms. So like something will happen and all he'll do is give you that kind of like an eyebrow raise, but it's not even a pronounced eyebrow raise like The Rock or something. Like, so I'm like, I don't know what he can do, where he's missing, but there's something. I feel like the expressiveness is lacking in some kind of way for him.
Okay, yeah.
He isn't a great talker, or at least what we've seen. So you don't really see him talking trash and stuff through in the match where it's really, really great. I feel like there's some kind of dynamic of finding more expressiveness in his personality.
Maybe working with Stokely will help him out.
And that's why I was thinking, like, Stokely is great with everything in terms of like presentation, for sure. So pairing those two, that's why I was like, just kind of comparing the two by side. I'm hoping, whatever it is, I hope they figure it out, because they obviously love him. Now you just got to find a way to get the crowd reaction, or it's not even crowd reaction. You have to have the connection with the crowd. So how is he gonna do it? And hopefully Stokely can help him figure it out.
Yeah, Stokely, save him, please, because I like him, but he needs some help. But back to the match, the actual match. Well, back to the Stokely. Because I really didn't take much notes on this. Start of the match, Moriarty does mock Matt Seidel and his peace and love and wrestling thing. He kind of gives him that cheesy smile with the peace symbol.
And his mouth guard in, so it wasn't even like a super smile. He has a little bit of a mean streak going about everything that he was mocking too. It wasn't even just like fun mockery, like haha, look at you, laughing at you. It was attitude.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. But I don't know if you have any notes before our boy Stokely came down.
No, literally that's where my notes go to. It was like Moriarty had attitude to mock Seidel. Stokely comes out when Seidel has the advantage late. So basically it looks like Seidel's gonna win the match. Stokely comes on down and does his Stokely distraction. He kind of tries to amp up Lee Moriarty a little bit. Didn't work out. Matt Seidel gets up on the top rope. Hold on before you get to where it goes. Commentary is sitting there going, who is he here to help? Who is he here to scout? Like, do you not watch your own product? He offered a card to Moriarty. He wants Moriarty. He came to a promo and was at odds with Seidel over the people that Stokely was trying to recruit. Why the fuck would he be there to help Seidel?
They're just being commentary.
But hey,
everything today was a reach by the commentators.
Yeah.
So they were trying to make this show seem like it wasn't a dud.
Yeah, you're going to have a theme a little bit later because I know he's not going to forget something.
Yeah. But, yeah, man. Stokely hops up to kind of try and knock Seidel off the ring or off the ropes. Seidel just starts smacking the back of his head.
Where's Chris Statlander?
Yeah, Chris Statlander's smack to the back of his head was way better. Way better. If we're comparing smacks to bald heads, her one smack beat all like 5 of his smacks.
She had a running head start. No.
That was what made it dope. He had, he didn't see it coming, and she just came down and whack.
But after the help, Seidel submits to the Border City stretch. And after, when he's standing over top of Seidel, Stokely gets back in the ring and he once again hands him a card.
Yeah. Also, Moriarty did not let go of the hold until Stokely told him to let go of the hold. So,
and even then, he didn't quickly grab the card, but he did accept it this time.
Yep, he did accept his card. I think he's starting to see that Stokely is his only way. That's his only way.
He's gonna help
Stokely save him.
Kind of like Christian Cage, as they're feuding now, probably really helped Jungle Boy get to where he was. It's gonna be Stokely that's gonna help the reps, the practice, while all getting to that point. You can only hope that Stokely can. Well, he talks that much better than Christian already, or at least to me, because Christian can be pretty cliche.
Yep.
Sometimes he's really good, but sometimes he's really cliche. If he can do anything close to what Christian Cage did working with Jungle Boy, Moriarty, in like a year, he'll be ready to actually win some singles gold.
That would be cool, because I could see him, with some Stokely help, I could see him getting there. I can see it, because he's got it in the ring. He just needs to add some pizzazz,
some star power.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, when I say a year, we also have to consider there's a clear handful of people that are going to come ahead of him. Ricky Starks. Actually, you know what? Just let Ricky Starks win it and never let go.
Yeah. Speaking of star power,
that's better than anything I was thinking of.
DMD. Britt Baker has a fairly short promo in the back. She just mentions Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa. She kind of brings up the obvious that Thunder Rosa has slipped up a lot recently. Like, she lost to Miyu Yamashita in that one match. She kind of redeemed herself in a win, but also that she aligned herself with Toni Storm smartly, because Toni Storm is her best competitor without DMD being involved.
Yeah, it was basically a whole, because then she kind of calls Toni not the brightest, or making the decision to align herself with the person she should be beating. It was a whole promo just to try and divide that team before they had their tag team match.
it won't work. But
Was the word sandbag mentioned in this one at all?
she did not, and Rebel did not have the sandbag with her.
I didn't think I caught anything, but I wanted to double check.
Yep, no mention of sandbags this time.
You want to know who didn't sandbag their promo? Claudio.
Claudio. You know, I didn't really take much notes on anything Claudio said, other than the fact that he just sounded like he wasn't lost this time.
He had
it
Regal.
Was quick, but yeah, he wasn't lost this time. I think maybe that's what it is. He had Regal with him.
He had Regal, and Tony was in the ring with him too, so he was one of 3 people in the ring originally. Before he gets to talk, there's the big "you deserve it" chants from the crowd. He says thank you in at least 3 languages that I caught to the fans.
There was 5.
I thought it was 5, but then I looked up, or I thought I caught 4. I thought it should have been 5, so I was looking at the closed captioning after, and it only listed 3 of them. So just for safety purposes, I wrote 3+.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 5. I can't remember which languages anymore. I know there was
He says merci beaucoup.
Swedish. Yeah,
so French.
Yeah, Swedish, French, German. Obviously in English.
Yeah.
And Spanish as well.
Yeah, so I knew the German. I thought I heard German. I knew French, and then obviously English. But those are the 3 also that popped up on the closed captioning, so I kind of needed to look back to try to catch the other 2. Obviously one of them is fairly obvious what it should have been, you know, his native one. But then he does a wink and a nudge, says it's an honor, wink wink, to be your ring ROH champ. And then he welcomes out Wheeler Yuta. That's literally all he did, pretty much.
Yep. Yeah, Wheeler Yuta gets a microphone, doesn't get to use it.
Not yet.
Chris Jericho has had enough. He gets up from the commentary table. He doesn't want to sit there and listen to people chanting for Yuta, cheering for Yuta after he beat Daniel Garcia. Doesn't want to hear people chanting that Claudio deserves it after he swung him around on top of that cage.
Yeah. Eventually Yuta just cuts him off.
Jericho said that Claudio deserves Jericho's boot up his ass. That's the only thing he deserves.
Yeah. But eventually Euler just cuts him off and says, did he do the whole Jericho, will you please shut the hell up, like how Jericho used to, or they just said or they just say shut up? Either way, he cut him off to say shut up.
Yeah, he told him to shut up.
He says he's, beating Garcia did so much for his confidence that he's pretty sure he can beat Jericho too. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. They do.
Yeah, it was Yuta's voice cracked a couple times, like he was still not done with puberty. Jericho was so down to keep going back and forth with him.
Jericho, when he originally said that he could beat Jericho actually had a pretty good look of shock. Like, what? And then after all the back and forth, he was like, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. And he asks Claudio if he thinks he can beat Jericho. Claudio says yeah, in some kind of way. But the interesting one was Regal. When he asked Regal if he thinks that Yuta could beat Jericho, Regal was super intense. Like almost like somebody just like Jericho ran over his dog or something, and he was pissed off and super intense. And obviously they have all their history. And when Regal tells him yes, like he said something more emphatic though, like yes, certainly or something. When Regal said that Yuta could beat Jericho, that one got to Jericho. He reacted a whole different way when Regal said yes. But Jericho actually challenged Yuta for a match on Wednesday, and Yuta said, nah, I'm good.
He's like, I know I can beat you. I don't need this.
That's when the really childish. Yeah. Yes, I can.
No, he's like, no, you can't. No,
I know I can.
No, you can't.
I know I can. I know I can.
I know I can. I know I can. And then both of them have fairly high voices, so it was. Yeah, this was the most childish promo ever.
It wasn't no sexy ASMR voices. That's what it wasn't.
Definitely wasn't. Definitely wasn't. But once they get done with their "No, you can't," "Yes, I can" BS, Jericho finally, he's like, "All right, I gotta throw him a bone here because he's not gonna fight me otherwise because he doesn't give a fuck." So Jericho says, "Hey, I'll give you my title shot against Jon Moxley if you can beat me."
Yuta's just like, that was easier than I thought it'd be. You're on.
Yeah,
match made.
He was just like, "Yep, sure, cool."
And then they're like, oh, will the fourth time be the charm for Wheeler Yuta versus Jon Moxley? Oh. And I'm like, the match isn't even gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Next, we got our music video. Did you know it's Trash Day?
Yes, I heard the song. It's Trash Day, all right.
It's trash.
Yeah, this is a Gun Club diss song. I kind of liked.
Gun Club went from ass boys to trash boys, and it's Trash Day.
Yeah, I like the. I took down one line from that music video that I liked. He said people want to hang with them because they make dudes famouser. I love that.
But in the end, again, this music video was to announce the match type that they were going to have. I will say this is very much kind of in the same kind of silly vein as their music video back for like when they went up against Darby and Sting, like where they had other people dressed up in other kinds of ways popping in, stuff like that, because they had this guy out there that was obviously taller than the other people, dressed up like Billy Gunn, and they end it with a saying, "We got 2 words for you." What were the words?
Probably suck it.
Dumpster
Something.
match.
I don't know. Dumpster match. Okay.
Yeah, that's how they announced it. We're like, I figured you had it.
I don't know why you thought I had that.
Yeah,
no, I did not have that.
2 words for you were to announce. I mean, it became very obvious very early on in the promo. Like, this whole thing is dump trucks and trash cans. This is going to be a dumpster match.
It is. Dumpster match next week.
Why do I have a feeling the Acclaim's going to lose?
Because
Billy Gunn's going to fuck him up?
Yeah. Because Billy Gunn is twice the size of everyone else.
Daddy ass needs to know when to lay the hammer down. Isn't that what he said?
I don't know. All I know is he's going to lay the ass down, probably.
You want to know one situation of I have no idea what the fuck was said because I took no notes and there wasn't anything really good. Like, you could tell me and I'll probably remember some, but God, the main event promo.
Yeah.
Anna Jay just wants that crazy.
0 notes.
Mark Henry got a bigger pop with doing his line than either of them.
Yep. Yeah, that was the only important thing, was Mark Henry said it was time for the main event. And that's the only reason why we knew this was the main event.
So, the one note that I have that isn't the very end of the match is basically the story of the match, which was Anna Jay taking off the protective gear and then attacking the rest of the whole match. So with that being said, before we get to the end of the match, I know it's still in there, and I know you want to say it. If you want to yell at I got my chance to yell at the commentary team. Would you like yours?
I'm not gonna yell, but God damn it, guys. You guys tried to oversell that wrist injury so hard. You kept calling her little, like, carpal tunnel wrist brace a cast. She took off you don't just take a cast off.
Yeah, you don't. They have these little saws that they use.
Yeah.
And
as a person that's broken his wrist before, this is, you guys undersold. Like, you guys tried to oversell nothing with this little wrist brace that she had on that looked like she was just about to get ready to start typing on the computer or something. And, you know, she has carpal tunnel.
Yeah, I had a leg in 2 different casts and then a walking boot. They don't just slide that cast off.
Yeah, they definitely saw that thing off of you.
Which is kind of freaky, but at the same time, you know, they know what they're doing generally.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it just made that whole wrist injury thing super unbelievable.
Or the fact that Ruby used it for like every single move after and did not react accordingly. I mean, sometimes she reacted like to sell it and all that, but I'm sorry, when you do an STO, when you slam your opponent down into the mat and you're falling with them, you're not going for a pin. You are like writhing in pain after rolling around. If you had said that she sprained her wrist, everything we saw would be believable.
Yeah, I would believe that better.
But no, you went for broken, fractured, whatever.
Fucking suck. Well,
And
any sprain sucks.
but you can get by with just the brace for those too.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be so bad about, you know, performing some of those moves and your reactions after the fact. Everything would line up so much better had it been just a sprain. But a sprain doesn't sound bad enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess not enough people have had sports-related injuries before to understand that sprains suck.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
But
as much as it's not broken, it feels broken.
what I think probably ruins sprains is when you have, you know, the high ankle sprain or whatever, but Terrell Owens still goes out and balls out in the Super Bowl weeks later.
That's Terrell Owens.
Yeah.
Though.
So
He's T.O.
So they probably look at the amount of professional athletes that have battled through some kind of sprains, and it probably makes it a little bit lesser. And I mean, they are a little bit lesser, but in reality, you're not no-selling it. No way in hell.
Right. There's no way.
T.O. might get a catch, but he goes down funny once. You know he's coming off to the sidelines for a little bit just to kind of shake it loose or whatever he has to do. Like, there's a reaction. But eventually, Anna Jay cheats. She gets that wrist brace, slides it into her elbow as she's choking out Ruby. Ruby just ends up passing out. She's celebrating after the match, and Jericho walks down the ramp down to ringside, clapping and giving his approval. What's up?
Her name is Anna Jas.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they even put it as Jay, then A.S, and Chris Jericho, Sports Entertainer of the Week. Hold on. Chris Jericho's what?
Chris Jericho's Sports Entertainer of the Week.
Oh, I thought you were gonna do the Daddy Magic voice. Sports. I can't do it.
Sports Entertainers.
She talked about
that was it.
how she got to learn from a dark side. Oh, you know what? In the main event, I do remember one thing she said.
That was the promo. Yep.
She got to learn from Brody some dark side stuff, and now she gets to learn from Jericho. So now the story is going to end up becoming that she was mentored by two legends, kind of thing. I don't know, but we kind of hinted at it earlier about Rampage, kind of, after early on wanting to put you to sleep. You got some time now, kind of general thoughts, because when the show started, kind of to your point, well, not to your point, but then later, I was like, man, this show, the way it's starting off, some things that we were going to see, I thought we were going to see on the show, but we actually completely misread the card. That's for Dynamite. We're like, this would have been a good show to be at, because Dynamite was good. Rampage started off well. We had thought that a couple of things different were booked, but that's actually Dynamite. Sitting there thinking it was going to be a good show, stacked, and then you got about maybe 25 minutes in or so, halfway through, and it just kind of became like our experience when we went to Rampage. The second half, nothing that was gonna really get you hyped up.
Yeah. My favorite thing that happened is that they announced that Claudio is facing Takeshita.
And we have to find the details out. That's actually
Saturday, or airing Saturday at least. We need some more details. Please,
August 6th, by the way. So not tomorrow. Next
Saturday,
one.
Next Saturday.
So I will, when I'm doing my stuff that I can't do on the computer after, like the thumbnails and stuff I'm seeing outside later, I need to remember to look up the details on that show, because if it's possible, I might have to look. I might, if that is associated with the Rampage and everything next week, where it's doable, might have to see if we can pull that one off. I'm gonna be putting so much miles on my car in the next month. I mean, it's not super a ton of miles, but it's a lot more than what I drive on a regular basis.
So the weekend miles, it's gonna be a lot.
Chicago,
you're out of there.
I just don't want to see the toilet seats, man.
Yeah,
that's all.
Like the toilet seats. Sorry to all of our Illinois fans out there, but not sorry.
Don't really hate the Bulls, even though they used to have that deep rivalry. That was you and I still in diapers.
I was gonna say, we were in diapers during their rivalry, so the hate for the Bulls isn't really there for us.
I don't hate the White Sox as much as I used to. Cubs are on the completely other side. I don't even give a fuck. They might as well not even be from Chicago.
Yeah.
Hockey.
Say the Blackhawks.
They're in the other conference now.
Yeah.
But there'll always be an original six rivalry, but it won't match up to the rivalry we had with Colorado. But even that is 20 years ago now. Depending on when you want to cut that off, the real meat of that was 25 years ago now. God damn, we are old.
Yeah.
Wait, so should we or should we not just wear Detroit when we're in Chicago but not at AEW? Should we wear Detroit sports gear?
Oh fuck yeah.
I gotta see what I have that isn't a hockey sweater, because it's gonna be too warm for that probably still.
Oh yeah, Labor Day weekend's gonna be too warm for a sweater.
I don't know you know what? I do have a Calvin. I do have a couple Calvin ones.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, nobody can hate on a guy wearing a Calvin shirt, like jersey. Like, there's no. If you hate on somebody wearing a Calvin jersey, you're just a piece of shit.
So I got a couple I can do. I don't really have anything Tigers related because well, they've sucked for so long.
Yeah.
And every time I pick a favorite player, it goes so terribly. I literally can name like 3 people on the roster right now. It's that bad. That's how it's been for like years now because it's been so bad.
It's probably 2 more people than I can name.
So it's going to be walk around Chicago, Detroit sports gear, any wrestling events.
Love that Danhausen.
Or I almost put the Blood and Guts shirt on. I'll just pack all wrestling shirts.
Yeah.
I got a Kenny Omega too.
Santa Claus shirt. Because you know Santa Claus is real.
I mean, it may be only Labor Day weekend, but I think you might need to bring your scarf.
I might. I mean, I guess I'll bring it at the very least. Because if he's gonna be there,
you're gonna swing that shit around like a stripper in there.
Woo! Yeah, if he's gonna be there, I'll be rocking that thing. But if he's gonna keep not appearing, it's gonna stay in my closet.
Well, I mean, he might return at it.
Yeah.
And so you had to kind of have it prepared and ready anyway. But then I'm gonna get like a personal Chip and Dale's performance right next to me in the aisle.
I mean, I'll keep most of my clothes on.
Nah,
I'd have to unveil the tits, but you know.
I mean, to be fair, you're at a professional wrestling event. Half the people are out there in their underwear or the equivalent of.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I'll take the shirt off. That's still reasonable.
Yeah, because definitely don't want to walk around in a full suit and the scarf like the MJF.
No, it's still summer. No, thank you. I'm fat, and it's summertime. I'm not wearing a suit. Like, maybe like a month, if there's like a show a month later, I'd be wearing a suit.
You just
By
kind
October, I could do it.
You just kind of hit on something, though. There's something about our seats from Blood and Guts. I swear to God, if we have an experience with the people that we have to share seats next to again, that is anything like Blood and Guts, all out will be completely ruined. I will walk in there and be like, "Are you fucking serious? Again?"
Yeah, because there's no way that we're gonna get lucky and there's an open seat.
Yeah.
Again.
So a couple of things happened. The person that wasn't like the way the seats were lined up, when we walked to the seats in our row, I looked in, you could only see one seat in between the 2 sets of people. So we start to move in, this person moves over. I basically have on what is only like a 16-inch wide seat, I maybe had half of it, but there was an open seat at the very end. So luckily the 2 people at the end were able to scoot down. I kind of sat and kind of forced you into it by doing so, and I didn't think about that till way too late into it. I sat essentially across 2 different seats, which is not comfortable because they're always angled back upward on the outside.
Splitting those cheeks.
Hey,
you had to split those cheeks.
I had a good time doing so, though.
But yeah, we had a great time. But then the dudes in front of us like broke their seats and then they just started slamming the seats against my knees.
Yeah, there was about to be a fight because a woman in the row next to you got hit too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that big dude he said everything that needed to be said.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, fucking say something. If that's what you're gonna do, don't just start slamming a seat into people's knees.
Yeah, like blindly. And it wasn't even just like one time. It was like, get up, try it like 5 times, try to sit back down, no, still broken, do it again 5-6 times, try to sit down, nope. It was like 5-10 minutes of just fuckery.
Yeah, wrestling fans, let's do better.
Be considerate of the people that have to sit next to you, in front of you, behind you. We had little girls sitting behind me, so I was very notable of, if it was a situation which I didn't need to stand up, I wasn't going to stand up. Although you pretty much still stand up the whole time. Now it depends. If they were standing up behind me like everybody stands up, I knew I'm good. But if it was one of those kind of things where I see that a lot of people are sitting and they're still sitting behind me, I tried not to do anything. I don't want to ruin anybody else's experience around me. I don't want anybody else to try to ruin my experience.
That's nice of you.
It should
You're
be
a considerate wrestling fan.
It should be that easy. It really should be that easy, people.
You, a considerate wrestling fan. Isn't that cool?
Oh, how sweet. No. Did you have anything from tonight that you would like to nominate for the hardest hit?
Ooh.
I'm trying to think.
From the acclaimed music video.
Yeah, sure. Anything that lets me put that graphic up, which it's up now. Have at it.
Because my favorite line of the night was, "We don't know why they want to hang with us, but people want." He was like, I forgot how he got to it, but he was like, "People want to hang with us because we make dudes famouser." And then their Billy Gunn pops up in the back, flexing and showing his ass. Yeah, that was the hit of the night for me.
All I have is if I had to say any kind of maneuver, because there wasn't really any big strikes or anything throughout the night.
Cassidy's chest was super red after he got slapped by a giant Satnam Singh. It didn't sound like it was that ridiculous, but just how red his chest was from one slap.
He's got to get that cupping technique down for that sound effect.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a single maneuver, little Leon Ruffin took a really high, kind of not so nice looking landing when Ethan Page hit that ego's edge. It was pretty high up there. He's a little dude, and he did not come down on his back. He kind of went to his side, and it did not look like it was super nice. But also, him just being little makes it look that much worse.
Yeah. Poor Leon. Poor Leon.
Yeah. As that match happened, you and I were just in there talking like, if this dude bulks up, he has personality. They can make him useful. Mm-hmm. Not saying champion, but they can make him, say, John Silver. Little dude, bulked up, hell of a personality. Relevant.
Say Ruffin's not that short.
No.
He just it's his skinniness makes him seem shorter than he is.
But I don't know if he's necessarily.
But he's not. I mean, obviously he's not tall or anything.
Yeah, that's all I meant is like I don't think he's necessarily going to, even if he bulks up, I don't know if that means he's going to start winning some of them championships on his own. I don't know if...
Yeah, I think who said it? He could probably be some... he could probably be like an ROH type of, like one of the ROH belts or something.
But that's why I was thinking of like Silver, just because I'm like, you could see Silver in some kind of dual situation becoming like a tag team champion, having success, smaller dude but lots of personality, not that small but not that much bigger than Silver either.
Yeah,
like you can find a spot for him if he can. Like right now at his size, he's always going to be that constant underdog story.
Yeah.
If you can make him bulk up.
His current record in AEW is 0-6.
Yeah. So if you can bulk him up a little bit, you can, and with his personality, you can find a way to make him relevant and useful on TV. But as we talk about, there needs to be some more of this.
Yep. Yeah, hit the gym, Leon. Hey, you're from Detroit. I'll hit the gym with you.